Welcome to Good Vital Mornings. Daily inspiration and that good music.
Yes. Good Vinyl Morning, daily inspiration and that good music. I'm your boy, your cousin, your big unk, all that, a bag of chips, and a 50-cent juice. I am he, and he is me, Mr. PL Sweets, here to bring you that daily inspiration right here on the Good Vinyl Morning podcast, Monday through Friday. I get the weekends off, which means there's a lot that you can peruse. So if you do me a favor, why don't you like, subscribe, review, leave a comment, and share, because sharing is sharing. Sharing is caring. It rhymes with caring. It goes together. So why don't you do that? And if you're watching on YouTube, make sure you hit the notification bell along with your subscriptions. So this way, when we go up, you know all about it. And stop emailing me about you don't get the notifications, because you definitely did not select the notification bell. So make sure you do that. Okay, I said it. Okay, it's out the way. There you got it. And make sure you head over to repurposenetwork.com for a collection of podcasts that are amazing. This podcast is a part of. Came across a quote, and the quote was, "Pick your pain." It's like, pick the pain of being yourself or pick the pain of suppressing yourself. I thought about that. And we all have done it. But I got the perfect song. Yeah.
So entertaining. When the boogie starts to explode, I heard somebody say, "Disco Inferno, burn the mother down."
Hey.
Disco Inferno, burn the mother down.
Yeah. Disco Inferno by a group called The Tramps. If you are listening, I'm showing on the screen the cover to The Tramps' Disco Inferno album, released in 1976. And the band was a soul band, really. First really disco band from Philly. Their key members were really members of the MFSB, which is part of the Philly International Gamble and Huff team, songwriting teams, and musicians. And this was released in 1976. It did pretty good on the disco charts, but it did not meet its world-renowned status until 1977, because it was then re-released on the album, the soundtrack album to Saturday Night Fever, and quickly rose to be a number one hit across the board, winning a Grammy as well. This record also was inducted into the Dance Music Hall of Fame. Goes to show you how just 2 years prior, it did not reach its potential until it was partnered with something else to bring it more marketing status and more what we call exposure. Exposure is the key thing we're talking about today. So when you pick your pain, this is what you're doing. You're choosing between the pain of suppressing yourself for the sake of others, or the pain of being yourself and not being accepted. Because growth comes with discomfort. And I'm not talking about your sexual preference, any of that, because that's a whole other bag of worms. I'm talking about you, not your sexuality. A lot of times in my brothers and sisters in the African American community, we call it code switching. And code switching is this: when I'm around my people, I get to talk. I get to talk my talk, meaning that I'm not speaking in the King's Good English. I'm speaking how my culture speaks, especially my neighborhood, right? You can say that about Jewish people who speak Yiddish. You can say that about Italian Americans. They have a way to use English in a different way. So we code switch. When we're around at the job or downtown, whatever, a lot of times you trying to be with AKA professional, you'll code switch. It's like you're altering your behavior for others so they feel comfortable. Now you can do it for business, you can do it for a number of reasons, but that's exactly what you're doing. This may seem easy, and I'm not specifically talking about code switching. I'm talking about your life, suppressing who you are. A lot of times I give you an example. As a producer in the early to mid 90s, music producer, they had this whole thing about not of being a hip hop producer or an R&B producer. Well, I was both because I was a musician and a DJ. So I can produce hip hop tracks and produce R&B tracks. But when you would go meet with A&Rs, they would say, well, you don't do R&B, do you? Or you don't do hip hop, do you? Which is crazy to me now these days because it's so combined. So I would have a CD for R&B and a CD for hip hop. And I would just appear to each person that way. I was really altering my behavior, limiting myself. But in order to get in, I had to play these games. So what am I saying? I'm saying this. You could pick the pain of suppressing yourself for the sake of others, or you could pick the pain of being yourself and just not being accepted. That takes courage. To be your authentic self takes courage. To embrace your individuality takes courage. Now, your immediate challenges is rejection, criticism, social isolation. That's common. But the long-term rewards of this, you have deeper and more meaningful relationships. On top of that, you'll have a deeper personal satisfaction with yourself and your own self-respect. Because overcoming rejection will build your strength and your resilience. So you got to ask yourself, am I really being me in this moment, or am I acting this way, or am I doing this just to get in or to make someone else feel comfortable? We all have to make those decisions. We all have to pick your pain. It's kind of like you're gonna go to the doctor eventually, right? Right, for a checkup. But if you don't go for a checkup, you're gonna end up going for a problem. Well, the problem could have been figured out earlier if you went earlier. Now it's too late, we're going to the doctor. We're going to the dentist. Like, these things are going to happen. You get to pick your pain. You know what I mean? You can pick to go to the gym or not. But if you're going to the gym will help you in later life, yeah. But if you don't go, guess what happens? You're going to be in worse condition, and you're going to wish that when you could go to the gym, that you went to the gym. So you get to pick your pain. So it's on you. It is completely on you. So you go be great today. You go be amazing today. And I'm going to tell you, like my good friend Corrado always says, be good to yourself.